Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. The chat is up and running. How's it going? It's Thursday. Plugging right along. What do you guys do today? Before I do a poll, let me recommend you look up Tom Grassi. Look him up on YouTube. He's doing a charity live stream right now. I highly recommend you check it out. It could restore your faith in humanity. It's the main thing I've been watching for days, since Sunday at 4. All right, let me look at this poll situation. Let's see what we can get going. Start a poll. All right, let's see. That could be misspelt. Do you think we will see more Epstein files? Let's start that poll and see what happens. Yesterday, I did the whole poll. I started it and stopped it before the end of the stream. That's one day in a row. I'm on a roll. So what's going on, guys? I don't expect a lot of people in the chat today. I think most people are going to be watching Tom Grassi. If I wasn't streaming, I'd be watching Tom Grassi. So I'm just saying. So what are you guys up to? Yeah, I'm going to make a pot of chili tonight. I'm excited about it. Well, as far as the Epstein files go, well, I had to stop reading them. It's too disturbing. The way it appears to me is 30 years ago, back in the late 1990s, a couple of governments, specifically the United States government and Israel's government, decided that it was okay to ignore Epstein's crimes because there was a whole lot of espionage going on his island. Worldwide espionage. Secrets being traded, people being blackmailed, people being bribed. It goes all the way back to the late 90s, which would be like the Bush Jr. administration. They allowed all this to go on, even though they knew he was committing crimes. When your government turns a blind eye because they think they have something to gain, they set the rule of law aside, you will never get them to admit to it. They did this by choice. That's the way it appears to me. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. Afternoon chat is Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show has no script and it has no agenda. The people in the chat are actually in control of the show. They determine what we talk about. When no one gets in the chat, I fill in. I'm not going to live stream dead air. Then we're left to wherever my mind wanders on any given day. No telling about that. But it's a free show. I'm not trying to sell you anything. No midstream ads, no sponsors. I'm not running for political office. I'm not trying to hustle you out of anything. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. I put Tom Grossi in the chat because I want you to know who he is. It's one of the people I follow. And he's raising money for a charity. Not for a personal profit, for a charity. The only real rules in here is we do need to follow the community guidelines established by YouTube. Other than that, we're golden. We can discuss anything you guys want to talk about. On my mind this week, Nancy Guthrie and the Epstein files. I don't even think we've seen 10% of them yet. I just don't. There's too many things missing. If all the documents were there, it would be the most horrific thing. Believe me. I had to stop reading them. They're too disgusting. Self-censorship. Okay. I can't take anymore. The government allowed this to go on. They knew about it. They took witness statements and stopped investigations. They wanted it to continue. That's the United States government for you. And now they're covering up for their actions. What do you know? The lawbreakers want to protect themselves and hide. What's on your mind? If you want to be able to chat, you need to download that Discord app from YouTube. It's free. According to my analytics, 85% of the people watch this on TV, but they chat using another device, their phone, tablet, or a computer of some type. I'm told that the latest smart TVs have the chat technology built into them, but I haven't seen it, and I'm not recommending anyone go out and buy a brand new TV. Yeah, I'm on my Gatorade. Being a good guy. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I don't think we've even seen 10% of the Epstein files. They're hiding the really bad stuff, as if the stuff that they've released isn't already bad. It's too gross. I can't read anymore. I don't think they're going to release anymore. But they are required to by law, so anything could happen. Yes, Prince Andrew did get arrested this morning, but not charged with raping minors or anything like that. They got him on charges of immoral behavior while holding political office of some type. It's all bunk. They're putting on a show for the press. Unlike in the United States where, we're just blatantly saying, well, it's okay if they're criminals and pedophiles. It's all disgusting. As far as I'm concerned, they should lock them all up and throw away the key, but I'm still waiting for all the victims to put out a list. I think that's what's going to be the next shoe to fall. Is the victims are tired of our corporate media saying, well, it's okay if they're pedophiles. They ruin the lives of 1,200 women that we know of. That's not okay. Not to me, anyways. YouTube tells me I got to ask people to like and subscribe to the channel. If you can, cool. If you can't, don't sweat it. I'll get to where I need to be eventually. There's too many good people. Point blank. I got to believe that I'll get there eventually. Because I believe the people are good. And anybody that watches this channel can clearly see I don't have an agenda. I don't have a script. I just don't care. Doesn't matter to me what we talk about. I just want to meet new people and have a conversation. Find out what's on their mind. What are your priorities? I think on the Nancy Guthrie thing, I think this whole Mexico thing is a scam. I don't believe that they took her across the border. That would be too risky. And if they did, and it looked like they were going to get the reward, why wouldn't the cartels just come in and take her from them? None of it makes any sense. This is all a distraction. My personal belief is that she's still in Tucson. If I were there, I'd be looking for an abandoned school or church or some type of a building with a basement. And I honestly believe that whoever's got her is feeding her fast food. I believe that they are driving through a drive-through to get her food on a daily basis. These are not compassionate people. They would not cook her a meal. They're not going to do any dishes. Wrong kind of people. In my opinion, it's probably someone in the real estate business, be it a struggling salesman or a broker, a highly educated individual, I'd say with at least a bachelor's degree, if not more education. The grammar on the original notes was just too structured. It was too perfect. Punctuation and everything. Paragraphs structured properly, sentences structured properly. Someone highly educated. I believe it's not a known criminal. Doesn't make any sense for a known criminal to kidnap people. I think this is a first-time criminal. But I still believe she's alive. Even without her meds, I still believe she's alive. It's got to be in some abandoned building. I would say an abandoned school or church. Something that if a car pulled up there every day, no one would think anything of it. But it's also got to be someplace where they could pull around the building and park out of sight on the back end. But they have to be giving her fast food every day. There's no way they're going to cook for her. Doesn't fit the profile. College educated, white male, over 50. That's my guess. They'll get him eventually. I hope they get him before something happens to Nancy. As if what's already happened isn't bad enough. I don't have any inside knowledge, not getting any tips or anything. I'm just trying to look at it logically. I figure if you're going to kidnap someone, you want to hide them from the outside world. So I'm thinking basement. A basement with a bathroom in it. And I'm thinking that they're not staying there at the property that she's being held at. I think they're making a daily trip there and just taking her food. I would look at the drive-throughs for fast food that are on the outskirts of the city, because I don't think they're going to be taking her into downtown. I figure they drove from one suburb to another. But it's definitely got to be an abandoned property. It wouldn't be anything that's rented in anyone's name that could be tracked down at a later date. But their simplest solution to return her would be just to leave her abandoned in that abandoned building and give the authorities the address. They're not going to pick her up and take her anywhere and drop her off. You know what I mean? But I see it as being a local, someone from that area. I'm thinking real estate, because they would have the comfortability of walking up on an abandoned property. Not too many people I know would want to be nosing around an abandoned property. You wouldn't go there. That's why I'm thinking someone in real estate. They're used to approaching abandoned properties and kicking around in them all day. But I'm thinking an unsuccessful real estate professional, a broker, someone that is tech savvy, which leads me to believe that, their education ties in with technology somehow, some way. But I hope they find her soon. With a reward at $100,000, I would think that that's attractive enough that it'll get people in that local area walking around the abandoned buildings, looking to see if there's any sign of anybody being there. All cities of size have abandoned buildings. It would cost too much to repair them, that type of a deal. Well, with Nancy being 84 and somewhat ambulatory, I don't think they are staying on the property watching her, thinking she's going to escape on her own. I figure they locked her in an underground bathroom. They're showing up and bringing her food once a day. Time will tell. But I don't think it was a burglary gone wrong. I think it was a targeted abduction. Well, the fact that they had her 3 days before any ransom letter was sent out, I think that tells you that they're going to be patient. To them, it's got to be like buying somebody that buys a lottery ticket. While you're waiting for the drawing to take place, you're sitting around dreaming about how you're going to spend the money. We'll find out. I hope they find the woman, though. It just stresses me a lot. As a senior citizen, I don't want nobody messing with me. But if you're in the Tucson area, start looking for an underground bathroom. In the high desert, there's not many basements, very few. I'd be surprised if there were more than a dozen in the entire town of Tucson. But I definitely believe that they'd put her underground. It's got to have running water and a bathroom facility. Yeah, $100,000 reward. Somebody should find her soon. Money motivates people. A lot of money motivates the bad guys, but I think money can also motivate the good guys. We can just hope. But yeah, I think about her a lot, and I check for any updates or anything a lot. I've been bouncing back and forth between her and Tom Grossi this week. It's really the only thing that I'm watching. So what's on your mind today? What do you guys want to talk about? Well, the Epstein files are a disappointment. The Nancy Guthrie thing's a disappointment. The only thing positive going on is Tom Grossi. Okay. In my opinion. That's all I can offer you. One man's opinion sitting on the end of his couch in Michigan. Our weather's not as nice as it was yesterday. We had a little bit of rain, and we've got a little more wind, and it's probably 5 degrees cooler. It's somewhere in the high 50s. Still nice for February in Michigan, don't get me wrong. But as soon as I get off the stream, I'm going to go for a walk, just like I've done, all week. get some sunshine, fresh air. When you get old, you need to walk, you need exercise, you got to stay active. Do any research, and they tell you when you sit 16 hours a day, your life expectancy drops to about 3 years. So you stay active or you die. It's one or the other. Yeah, I'm making a pot of chili tonight. That's my big plans. Sit around and watch Tom Grossi. I expect him to hit 500,000 or something this evening. He's playing a character today, a character he created. I think the guy's hilarious. Personal opinion, you know. His website is like TomGrossiComedy.com or something like that. But I think watching that show, watching that charity stream, it's good for your soul. It's all good people doing good things. And that never gets old to me. It'll actually, I believe it'll restore your faith in humanity. They were raising this they're at $500,000 thereabouts, and they're raising it $9 at a time. It's not major corporations, it's just real people like you and me making the donations. And this is to undo medical debt this year. He does the stream every year, but he changes the charity. It warms my heart when good people get press for doing good things. That just warms my heart. Most of the good deeds aren't published, and there are good deeds going down all over the world every day. I got to believe that, he's going to hit his $1 million goal probably by Sunday again, same as last year. He can go longer if he needs to, but he's flying out on vacation on Tuesday. So I think the best part of his stream is yet to come. He's got a section that I like. It's auctions, handcrafted items. He set up a week's worth of goals, and as he achieves them, he does, goes into different things to raise money. And the last one is from 900,000 to 1 million. He's going to go without sleep, which I think is funny. So what's going on with you guys? What do you got going on in your part of the world? Michigan is, I don't know, we're having some kind of a fake spring right now. I can't believe it. It's done snowing. Yeah, I think the weatherman just took a week off or something. I fully expect cold temperatures and snow to come back, but it is almost completely all melted. A week ago, we had a foot of snow on the ground, so. Late in the show, we should get some friends from the UK, and they've been having a hell of a winter. 45 days or something with rain every day. I'm telling you, it triggers depression in people when they don't get enough sunlight. Human beings need Earth's air, Earth's water, and Earth's sunlight, just like plants. So what do you guys got going on? I really haven't been doing much. I went for a long walk last night. Had about, well, it doesn't get dark until a little bit later now. The days are starting to get a little longer. So the stream ends at 5, and I probably got till 6:30 before it's dark. Maybe 6:45. Yeah, I got lighting issues today. Hair looks a little red. I don't know why. It's not red. I just don't have the lighting right today. Oh, it's one of the things I need to work on. I know, put it on the list, right? Yeah, me doing a podcast is kind of like a blind man buying a new house. You just got to feel your way through until you can figure out what you're doing and figure out where everything is. And in the meantime, you try not to walk into any walls. Yesterday, I was out of the house by 5:15. And I didn't get in until 6, so I probably walked for 45 minutes. So what's going on with you guys? If you ever want to change the subject, all you got to do is jump in the chat. The people in the chat actually have control of the show. I don't care. I learned to put things in other people's control a long, long time ago. I remember my youngest son, he was 5 years old. I asked him, what do you want to do? And I told him, you're in charge. And he spun on me and he says, I don't want to be in charge. And I'm like, too bad. I don't want to be in charge either. Well, I try to teach the kids responsibility. And by giving them control, they learn how to take control. That was my belief, anyways. They both grew up fine, so I'm figuring I did something right. You know what they say, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while, right? Yeah. I got a lap full of ashes. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Probably trying to set the place on fire. Well, that's your proof that I'm not AI. AI doesn't smoke. When I first thought of starting this show, I was thinking you could probably start a chat room with an AI bot nowadays. I see people going online and talking to Grok all the time, like he's their best friend. AI is up and coming, but I don't think it's everything that they're saying that it is. Not yet, anyways. When I see an AI generated video, I can tell it's AI generated. I've got another project going here to try to get more viewers. I'll probably be filming it for the next month or something, and then I don't know. I'll probably post it sometime middle of March. Well, I'm on all these different YouTube algorithms. Well, there's one algorithm for the live stream. There's another algorithm for the shorts and a third one for videos. So I'll probably put up some more videos next month. Ethan, welcome back. How goes it in Tennessee? Oh, I'm doing fine. Channel's moving forward. How are you doing? How's school going? I was trying to draw a correlation between former teachers that now have a podcast. And I was wondering if there was any correlation that you'd run across. What, you dropped one class? Well, you got to have the right teacher for some subjects. I was just wondering if any of your professors are also podcasters. A bunch of the guys that I watch on YouTube are former teachers. I watch Cross Timbers Bison. He's a former history teacher and coach. A guy named Dusty Baker. I watch Tom Grossi. He's a former history teacher. I watch who else? Uh, Me, I used to teach table games. I just think there's a correlation. I think that once you become a teacher, I think this whole podcast thing just fits right in. Seems pretty cool to me. But most of the guys that I watch on YouTube are former teachers for some reason. Well, back in the day, I used to go to Sapolsky. He was a professor out of Stanford. And he did a number of videos, 2 to 3 hours in length, on depression and normal human behavior. I found them quite helpful. His name was Sapolsky. But I was thinking that most of these college guys, these professors, could be filming their stuff. I know that they can dispense a lot of information in a short amount of time if they've got the right lesson plan. I watched Tom Grassi the other night do 5 hours and 40 minutes on the French Revolution, which I found quite entertaining. Well, world history is a huge, huge topic. I'm just thinking that, school could end up being all in podcasts eventually. I don't think they're going to need a brick and mortar building anymore. Why have the school bus when you can just put a computer in the home? Elementary school, yeah, that I can see that. You got to teach the kids how to, stand in line and how to get along socially with other people and interact with other humans. But beyond grade school, I don't think it's necessary anymore. Can all be done online. You'd lose out on high school sports and some of their after school activities. I don't know how your college professors are, but hey, archaeology is very interesting. If you get a chance, look up a guy named Desert Drifter on YouTube. He's not, I think he's a student of archaeology. I think he's also a former teacher. He does a lot of hiking out west and goes to a lot of ancient sites, extremities of the Grand Canyon and such. He hikes back in there and you can see some of the cliff dwellings and shards of pottery or arrowheads, that kind of stuff. And any 30-minute class is a good class to me. Hit and run. Yeah, Desert Drifter. His name is Andrew. I love the guy. I think he does a great job. And he teaches people to respect the archaeological sites that he finds. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have a good class. And if you get a chance this week, check out Tom Grause's podcast as well. I like hit and run classes. Get in, get your information, get the hell out. You got better things to do. I think your longest classes should only be your labs, right? Personal opinion, personal preference. Why are you taking an archaeology class? What's your major? That's interesting. I could see me taking archaeology as an elective. The classes I always hated were the ones that required too much reading. Makes sense. And culinary arts is, you're never going to be out of work, brother. People got to eat. I ain't telling no lies there. I used to work with a lot of chefs back in the day. I saw a lot of ice carvings, that kind of stuff. I was when I was young, I was a line cook from like I don't know, 16 to 22. I enjoyed cooking a lot. There are a lot of people that cannot cook. Oh, that's real interesting that you're getting into culinary arts. To me, the spices used around the world, they amaze me. They're so different. In comparison, I always found American food to be bland. I always thought French cuisine was too rich. Indian cuisine was too spicy. You got to find a happy medium in there somewhere. Enjoy your food while you can, because when you get old, you got all these damn dietary restrictions. But if you want to get rich off the culinary arts, I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to come up with a gluten-free bread that doesn't weigh 5 pounds. Thanks for stopping by, Ethan. Have a great class. Love you, brother. A fine young man. Just a fine young man. Yeah, the gluten-free options as far as breads, noodles, they all suck. Somebody's got to fix that. The gluten-free stuff has got to improve. It's just not good enough. It's all too heavy. I don't know why, but it seems to me you should be able to like cut it with like a cornstarch. It'll still bind it together, but not be that heavy. Might have to bind it with fructose. Might have to be some type of reduced fruit. I would think that a gluten-free pan bread that could stay fresh, well, stay soft and pliable for maybe 3 days without a bunch of preservatives. I would think that would make a man rich coming up with that. I love my breads. My brother has to be gluten free. I can eat gluten till the cows come home, no issues. But my brother can't touch the stuff at all. He can't even get cross contamination. The older you get, the more dietary restrictions you get. At least that's the way it seems to me. But in my lifetime, they took that original food pyramid and they flipped that sucker completely over. I don't know what the hell to eat now. I know what I'd like, which doesn't coincide with my dietary restrictions. I loved processed meat. It's so easy. Hot dogs, specifically. I never even used to cook them. I'd take them right out of the pack and eat them. Or I'd stick them on the fork and put them over the gas burner on the stove. I like hot dogs. What can I tell you? There was a place out there in Vegas. They had 6 different locations in town. I think it was called Wiener Schnitzel. I was known at all 6 locations. I just love to go in and get hot dogs. Specifically chili cheese dogs. Maybe that's why I have cholesterol issues now. Those are, well, I love a good ham steak, especially honey ham. I like turkey sandwiches. It's all processed, all of it, even bologna. Now, processed meats are not good for you. This whole cholesterol thing, I changed my diet for a solid year, and I went in and I got retested, and it only lowered my cholesterol by 6 points. And I'm like, I'm not giving up the foods I like for 6 points. Sorry. And so Crumbelina has got me on fish oil now. It's supposed to help with the cholesterol. And my father was just tested today to see if he needs to go in and get stint number 7. So I think high cholesterol probably runs in my family a little bit. He's walking around with 6 stents in him, and they think that he might need another one. So they sent him in for a CT scan today. He's 87. I remember pastries. Used to love working with pastries. I actually excuse me, I actually just bought some canned pie filling. I'm not even going to make the pastry. I'm just going to eat the pie filling. I was thinking cherry pie filling would go great over the top of ice cream. And I bought a can of cherry and a can of apple. They're big cans. So I got to have, somebody over to split half of them. Yeah, I'm horrible when it comes to snacks. I love sweet snacks. Not overly sweet, but I still like sweet snacks. I had a raspberry filled powdered sugar donut last night with dinner. Ooh, it was good. I liked it. Not enough to go back to the bakery today, but I liked it just the same. Oh, I'm going to have my snack tonight is going to be ice cream. I have Rocky Road. I'm going to make a pot of chili and watch Tom Grassi. And then late night, I'll have a dish of ice cream and call it a good day. Well, when I make a pot of chili, I generally eat it 2 days. And if there's enough, I'll have it for lunch on the 3rd day, just to polish it off. So what do you guys got going on? Drinking, gambling, carrying on? Typical? Yeah. Well, so far, the only star of today's show was Ethan. He's a college student in Tennessee. Fine young man. Hopefully, he'll be a great chef one day. When I was young, I used to cook in restaurants quite a bit, but there was no real money in it. Nowadays, the money in restaurants, I think, is in ownership, not in cooking. But I was a line cook. I cooked grill, saute, broiler, that kind of stuff. Sous chef wasn't really a term back in those days. I did the job, but I didn't have the title. It wasn't a term back in the day. The thing I hated about cooking was the prep work. And meat cutting. Meat cutting was tedious and tough on the hands. Well, it's cold. It's got to be cold. But yeah, I didn't like the prep work. I liked the excitement of the open dining room with the line work coming in, and it was fast paced. The prep work, you end up making, 30 gallons of soup or something like that, Good soup is good soup, but 30 gallons is a lot. I'll probably only make 1 gallon of chili tonight. Well, if not a gallon, 2 quarts. I'm just cooking for just me. So what's on your mind today? What do you guys want to talk about? I'm thinking I'm not going to watch any other TV other than Tom Grossi and keeping tabs on Nancy Guthrie probably all the way through Sunday. Well, there's no football, so football's the only thing I really try to plan my schedule around, pro football. Afternoon Chat's the name of the show, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a free show. The guest stars are the people in the chat. They determine what we talk about. They're in total control of the show. If you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, here's your golden opportunity. I honestly believe that interacting with TV is in our future. I think it's going to happen. I think it'll become mainstream probably within the next 5 years. Well, it's like if you're watching a sitcom. A sitcom generally runs 30 minutes. You get, 22 minutes a show? And 8 minutes of commercials? Something like that. Well, imagine if instead of the commercials, you could actually sit and chat with the stars live. I think that would get you higher ratings. Interacting with your audience, I would think that would be a huge draw. They're on their way to this interactive TV. They already want you to like text to vote for who you want to, proceed in the show or whatever. I just think live chat is going to be a real thing for most TV shows. If you're streaming a movie or something, no. But if you're watching, a sitcom that's performed before a live audience, I would think that when they replay that, they would have, have you come on to chat with them. I could be wrong. Journalism appears to be just a bizarre field right now. Well, I think if you're working for CBS, there's certain topics that you're not going to get to put on the air. They're restricting it. It's all scripted, including the news. You watch the news in the United States and it's all about crime and fear. Whatever generates fear. That's what they want to put on TV. Because people get tuned back in. They're using fear to control and manipulate people. Well, you hear those tease lines. Mothers in a coma, children missing. Story at 11. We all tune in, just like we've been programmed to. Got to find out whose mother, why is she in a coma, and who took the kids. Using our fears. They want to do that, and they want to separate us, stop us from banding together. Every time 100 million people band together, every dictator in the world shits a brick. I ain't lying. It freaks them the fuck out. They're like, holy cow. I don't want all my people to band together. They all band together and I got no power all of a sudden. And these people are all power hungry. Every last one of them. Well, that's the main problem with Trump. The power that came with his office wasn't enough. He wants more. He's power hungry. That's just fact. It's not opinion. I'm telling you, the way I see it, it's all he cares about is more power. He thinks that having ICE agents storm the streets makes him look powerful and strong. I think it makes him look like an idiot that doesn't know what a democracy is. Personal opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat and express yours. Well, I got no respect for any of these guys anymore, not since the Epstein files came out. Trump, Lutnick, Besant, Yeah, those three can go today. And they can take all their criminal underworld, Bondi, Kash Patel, who was the guy that took the bribe, the $50,000 bag. All of those guys can go today. Don't need them. They're not doing us any good. Holman, that's his name, the bribe taker, Holman. They all take bribes, don't get me wrong. Oh, these guys are all disgusting. The fact that they're protecting pedophiles. Of all the people to protect, why protect the pedophiles? Makes no sense. These guys, none of their efforts do us any good at all. You think they're protecting the American people by not putting out all those Epstein files? I don't think so. I think they're protecting their rich donor buddies, the ones that shouldn't be protected. I think every one of them that gets thrown in jail would be a plus to our society. Personal opinion. Yeah. The day's winding down. Spring's right around the corner, though. I'm thinking 6 more weeks, 7 weeks. I'm in Michigan, so we could get snow in April. Okay. That's the way it works in Michigan. I am planning on getting a house plant. I'm thinking it might brighten up my apartment. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to have trouble growing anything. I do not consider myself to have a green thumb. So if you want to chat, you need to get that Discord app from YouTube. It's my understanding that most of my audience is watching on TV, but they use their phone, a tablet, or a computer of some type to chat. When I chat, I'm generally using my laptop. I like the larger screen with the larger fonts. Even with the glasses, it's easier to read. I have to renew my driver's license soon. I'm running out of days. I'm thinking I'll go down there next week, maybe Monday. Just another errand our society is forcing me to run. You would think that you should be able to renew it just by the fact that you didn't have any tickets, you know? It should just renew automatic. Send me a bill with my new license. They act like it's a big deal, but in Arizona, you buy one license and it's good for like 25 years or something stupid like that. So when you gotta have to do it every 5 years, it kind of seems like a pain in the butt. They're tracking all of us anyways. Well, what they're doing with these cameras from Nancy Guthrie's home, she was unsubscribed and they're still pulling video off of those cameras. They're always watching us now. They're always tracking us. I just went through 30 minutes the other night. Google's trying to get me to tie my phone in with my account, and I refuse. They made me put in my password into my TV 3 times. They wanted me to put my phone in, and I wouldn't. They want all your devices to tie together, and if you try to leave one out, they stroke out on you. At least that's the way it appears to me. That's why I shut down my Facebook account years ago. When I opened it up, I put my phone number on it. Then I realized I don't want my phone number accessible off of my Facebook page. And I tried to take it off and they wouldn't let me. Once they get their hooks into you, you're done. They're going to track you everywhere you go, everything you do. And sell all your information. You know what would put a stop to that? If they had to pay you every time they sold your data. If they had to pay you to sell your data, guess what? They wouldn't be selling your data. They collect your data and it doesn't cost them a thing, and then they turn around and sell it. You can be sitting in your living room talking about, I don't know, green tea from Japan. And 2 days later, you turn on your TV and you're going to see a commercial for green tea from Japan. Just because you mentioned it in your home. You didn't do a search. You just spoke about it. These cameras and the microphones don't shut off. I don't care who says they do. They don't. They're running there. They're on all the time, as far as I'm concerned. Human privacy is on its way out the door. You may as well start walking around buck naked, because everybody's going to know all your shit anyways. Good Gatorade today. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts again. It's still 53, 54 degrees out there. Not the 60 we had yesterday, but it's close. So what do you guys want to talk about? I don't have an agenda. I don't have a script. Without you guys, we barely have a show here. Okay. I'm just a ghost. Am I really here? I don't think so. And I'm thinking about beards getting longer. I'm thinking about trying to braid it. The neighbor lady offered. I may take her up on it. Well, hopefully I'll remember to shut off the poll. Got about a half an hour left. I'll let it go, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I'm trying to train myself to do a better job. And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I got to prove them wrong, right? The thing I like about this chat room is you can get in for 10, 15 minutes, speak your mind, and then get out. You don't have to hang around for the whole 2 hours. I don't require anything of anyone. And hopefully I'm giving you options, you know. Yeah, I'm still talking to Crumbleina about the decor in here. I still think it needs some color. It looks almost like it's black and white, except for my red hair. But I was thinking these walls behind me should have something on them, you know, decorate up the place. When I watch Tom Grousey's channel, he's got crap and doodads all over everywhere. I don't have any crap or doodads, so maybe I'll talk to Crumbleina about that. Tell her, find me some crap and doodads. Well, I'm going to try to move next August. And when I do, I'm going to try to come up with a room that I can set up a studio in. A dedicated studio. This is my living room. When I picked out my furniture and decorated my apartment, I had no idea that I was going to have a podcast. So, but I kind of like having a podcast. So I was thinking I needing to get an extra bedroom where I can just set it up and have an actual set. take all of this stuff apart and put it back together every day. My laptop normally sits on the other side of the room from me. But for the show, I got to have it sitting right in front of me. And because I have Spectrum, I have to have it hardwired. Their Wi-Fi works so well that you must hardwire your laptop directly to your router in order to live stream successfully. That's Spectrum. It's their product, not mine. And I'm still looking at switching to T-Mobile. They're going to all fiber optics. And I like fiber optics. They put them into the casinos when I was working in the casinos. Saw a major difference. I worked in the casino industry for 33 years in Las Vegas, most of it. I did spend 1 year in Cripple Creek, Colorado, but other than that, it was all in Vegas. Cripple Creek, Colorado was an interesting place. It was in the mountains, somewhere around 9,000 foot elevation, something like that. Nice people, but you know, the casinos weren't that great. Not what I would consider great. And some of their rules in their casinos made no sense at all. They had I don't know. What it looked to me like is when they put in gaming in Colorado, it looked like they just simply copied and pasted from Atlantic City's rule book. Which, if you were going to copy and paste, why wouldn't you go off of Las Vegas? But that's what they did. It looked like a verbatim copy and paste. I saw spelling errors that matched up. But yeah, I'm going to take a walk and then come back, make my pot of chili, sit around and watch Tom Grassi all night. I give him a lot of airtime on here because I like his show. I like what he's doing, raising money for charity. He gets a lot more viewers than I get, I tell you that much. The chat in his room is just flying. Well, he's got 1 million subscribers. He's been doing it for 11 years. I haven't even been on for one yet. I guess I'm about to hit 6 months. September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, the 25th of this month will be 6 months. And I think I got 54 subscribers. Long way from 1 million. I don't think most people understand how much money a million is, anyways. I know how much money it is. When I was working at Circus in Las Vegas, soft count, me and three other people, or three other people and I, were locked in a room for 8 hours counting money. We counted $1 million in one day. It took four of us 8 hours to do it. That's how much money $1 million is. It's a lot more than you think. So these people that are actual millionaires, they've got a ton of money. And these billionaires, you're talking generational wealth. Generational wealth is it's actually not supposed to be in our capitalistic system. The way the capitalism was set up, that money is supposed to get taxed as it gets passed on to the next generation, and 50% of it is supposed to be reclaimed. Into the tax system. They've changed the laws. They put caps on things. And they're allowing generational wealth to be passed on. It's supposed to come back into the economy. They call it the estate tax or something. There's supposed to be a gift tax and an estate tax. And as you give your money away, as you get closer to death, it's taxed at a 50% rate, and half of that money is supposed to go back into the tax base. They've eliminated that so they can pass on their generational wealth. It just puts more tax burden on the people at the bottom of the pool, which is you and I. We're paying a minimum of 15% income tax. The major corporations are paying zero income tax. They've bribed all the politicians and had all the laws changed to make this possible. These billionaires that are running this country are the cause of all of our problems. They're not the cure to any of them. They're the cause of all of them. It's their greed. Well, you hear about them rolling back these regulations. Those regulations were put in place to save lives. When they say they're rolling back those regulations, they're saying, well, it's okay if a few people die. It's not okay. If you're the one that's getting killed, it's not okay. They say, oh, we're rolling back these regulations. It's good for business. The regulations got put in there by the previous government because people were dying. Okay. The EPA that they're destroying, Environmental Protection Agency, was put in place because people were dying. When you destroy the agency, you're saying it's okay. Let them pollute the rivers. Let them pollute the lakes. Let them pollute the air. People are going to die. Okay. They make it sound like they're not doing anything bad. They make it sound, oh, this is good. It's not good. Those regulations were put in there because people were getting sick. People were dying. The groundwater was getting contaminated. The air was getting polluted. I was around in the 70s. I went to LA, and I'm telling you, there was a brown cloud that sat over LA, and it never moved. They put in all these regulations to stop the emissions. And guess what? They cleared all that brown out of the air. You can see all the way across the valley now. But now they're coming through and they're rolling back all those regulations that controlled all those emissions. They're saying, in essence, give us back our brown sky. It's not good. Nothing these politicians are doing on behalf of these rich billionaires is to our advantage. It's to our disadvantage. They are changing the laws so that they can increase their wealth, satisfy their greed. They're not paying the taxes you and I are. And every time they roll back these regulations, they're saying it's okay if some of you people die. What's next? They're going to bring back asbestos as a building material? It took us how long to outlaw lead-based paint? It took us how long to outlaw asbestos? They want you to think they're doing good things on your behalf, but they're not. They're doing bad things on their own behalf to enrich themselves. I think Florida just said it's okay if 14-year-olds work in meatpacking plants. You remember back in the day, we didn't want them to let 14-year-olds work? We thought it was better that they go to school. They're rolling that back. Why? Oh, because they want that free, cheap labor. Let's exploit these peons. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And your politicians are getting bribed left and right and passing laws left and right that are not for your better life. Not trying to help you in any way. It's the opposite. They're coming after you. Something like 50 major U.S. corporations paid zero in income tax and all had billions upon billions upon billions in profit and paid zero. Our Exalted Hot Dog, the last one of his tax returns I saw, he, as a billionaire, paid $750 in income tax. As a billionaire. I was just talking about how much a million was. Do you realize how much a billion is? The alpha silence. How many genders? There's only two. Male and female. That's all we got. Doesn't mean you got to stay the one that you are. Like we have to test each other's sanity. Isn't this a wonderful world that we're living in? Isn't this a marvelous time? Before I talk to you, let me know, are you sane or are you one of these whack jobs? I'm just a man, okay? I can't even say I'm a righteous man. I'm just a man, okay? All I can offer is my opinion based on my life experience. I'll tell you one that'll get you going here today. Let me tell you, Alpha, okay? The data that they're counting on your phone does not exist. It's not real. It's not tangible. The phone companies used to charge me to make a long distance phone call. I was actually on the street in LA, and I went to make a phone call from a payphone, and it was long distance. I had to walk across the street so that it would be a local call. There was a charge. Cell phones came out, and all of a sudden, long distance charges went away. They weren't real. They were imaginary so that the phone company could show a profit. Fast forward to today. Walk into your phone company, take a measuring cup, set it on the counter and say, "I'd like 1 cup of data, please." They can't put anything in that cup. The only thing that they can put in that cup is a fantasy. There's no such thing as data. They put a measuring device on your phone, but they're not telling you what they're measuring. They're not telling you what rate they're measuring it at. They can't show you using it. Ask them. Show me a pound of data. If you can show it to me, if you can put a pound of data in my hand, I will buy 1 pound of data from you. They can't put anything in your hand. It's not real. They made it up. It's a scam. Just like the old long distance charges that I paid. They're lying to you to take your money. Okay. I'm sorry, but that's how it works in our society today. Bitcoin's the same way. Show me a Bitcoin. You're telling me it's worth $67,000. If you'd like me to buy one, show it to me. Put it in my hand. Oh, they can't do it because it's not real. They're operating under the premise, if we all say it's real, it becomes real. Bullshit. Sorry. That's not the case. It's not real. They want to pretend it is. Go ahead, pretend all you want. Make an imaginary friend, call him Jim, and take him for a walk every day. Go ahead. It's not illegal. But that don't make your imaginary friend Jim real. He's a figment of your imagination. He may be real to you, but he doesn't really exist, does he? I got to end the poll. Hang on. Ending poll. Do you think we will see more Epstein files? 100% said yes. I concur. I think we're going to see more files, but I'm not sure they're coming from the U.S. government. I think we're waiting on a foreign hacker to release them. The American government has let us down yet again, in my opinion. That's all I can offer you is my opinion. And welcome back, Julie. I'm getting ready to go for a walk. I'll be out there by 5:15. I want to take advantage while this weather is nice. I'll put long pants on. I'm wearing shorts now, but I'll put long pants on before I go for a walk. But I'm definitely going. It's in the mid-50s somewhere. That's good enough for me. Get out of the house, get a little sunshine, some fresh air. Then I'll come home and make my pot of chili. All right, I got to close out the show. I want to thank Ethan Hernandez, the Alpha Silence, and Julia Carlson, our stars of the show today. They showed up. They made themselves heard. I appreciate all the viewers. I appreciate all the chatters. Chatters, that sounds weird. As a pleasant reminder, if you get a chance, look up Tom Grossi on YouTube. Grossi. He's doing a charity live stream this week. He's the only thing I'm watching. He'll restore your faith in humankind. Believe me. He's raising money for a charity to undo Americans' medical debt. A valid cause, in my opinion. Afternoon chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A TV show with no script, with no agenda. The people in the chat actually determine what we talk about. It's a free show. You'll find no midstream ad, no sponsors, no commercials of any kind. I'm not running for political office. I'm not trying to tackle you or your wallet. I'm not coming out with a line of merchandise. I'm trying to meet people and find out what's on their mind and give them a chance to speak it. There's no hustle here. Nobody's paying me. As far as the rules in the chat room go, they're real simple. Follow the community guidelines that are established by YouTube. They're the only platform we're on, so let's not piss them off. Okay? When no one's in the chat, we're left with whatever I want to talk about because I'm not going to stream dead air. Whatever happens to hit my mind is probably going to be related to tolerance of your fellow human beings. I'm telling people that you need to tolerate your fellow human beings. If you want to stand out in your front yard and yell at them as they go by, you can. But every time you're doing it, you're teaching them it's okay for them to do it to you. Leave your neighbors alone. Don't micromanage their lives. Don't try to pick and choose for them. You don't want them picking and choosing for you. You don't want them micromanaging your life. You don't have to agree with your neighbors. You don't even have to like your neighbors. But if you can tolerate them, you can get along, you can live together in the same city without fighting, without confrontation. Respect your fellow human beings and demand that your fellow human beings respect you. Hey, the Vaughns, you show up in the final 2 minutes of the show. I still appreciate you, brother. I still do. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for chatting. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe if you can. If you can't, don't sweat it. I'm not gonna. Okay. I want everybody to please find some joy this evening. Find some peace. Find some happiness. You deserve it. We all do. And I dare you, find somebody to love. Thank you. Thank you much, Vaughns. Love you. With that said, I'll see you guys 3 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. And I swear to God, I'm going to be here. That's the only thing I can do is prove to you that I'm going to be reliable. I'm going to be dependable. I'm going to be here at 3. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Be safe. Be happy. Be loved. Okay? Bye.